My opinion is this bill is a work in progress, and I understand that. However, one thing that I want to make abundantly clear is that, we hired London Economics last year. We ordered the IUB to go through a process to make sure that, since we hadn't taken a look under the hood in 20 years of Iowa's regulatory environment regarding energy, to make sure there were some areas we could improve on. And London Economics provided a 260-page report that made some things pretty clear to us. And I know there's other folks in the room that would like to have access to performance-based regulations and other components that could make the utilities and the ratepayers relationship, much stronger and better than it is nowadays. But foundationally, what London Economics said, and that wasn't lost on me, was the foundational building block, the primary component to be laid, the cornerstone, if you will, so to speak, is integrated resource planning. How that looks and what that encompasses, and I understand the concerns over contested case proceedings. I do. If I was to stand up today and say I will exclude all coal-fired power plants from integrated resource planning, would that make everybody in the room happy? I doubt it, right? And so those are conversations we need to continue to have. And I'm willing to have those conversations. But
we have a tremendous opportunity right now with this LEI study, something that hadn't been done for a couple of decades. And so now we need to take that information, digest it. My biggest fear was that we would do nothing this year with this study. And instead, we are moving the ball forward, making sure that we are having a sustainable, reliable electric base load in the state of Iowa. And it will be, I'm sure, bipartisan in the end. So I do appreciate the work that's gone into it, and the chair will recognize Representative Thompson for closing remarks on House Study Bill 658.
We took what we could out of LEI's report to us that came in December. We wanted it to be as bipartisan as possible, so we had conversations with the minority party, and you heard that today reflected in the committee that we work well together and we came up with some solutions. They'd like to go a little farther on some things, but one thing we're introducing is integrated resource plan, which the utilities board can ask for that now, but there's nothing statutorily that really says it, so they get a little pushback. So now by adding that into our code, it's definite that they can ask for that in certain cases. And I think that just gives us a better picture of things like wind and solar, battery storage, things that we're building out. We provide a lot of wind energy in the state of Iowa, and we sell a lot of wind energy. It gets exported. And so if we would want to build more wind energy, we got to see what the benefit is to the Iowa ratepayers, because it costs us as ratepayers to build out those new technologies. So I think overall, we've been having conversations with the Senate. I expect it to be, a good, robust conversation going forward. We've initiated the bill on our side, and, before we send it to them, we want to make sure that they're going to take everything that we've agreed to, and that's why we have to continue to have the conversations with the minority party.
Sure. I was in the subcommittee on their bill here this morning. Klimesh had been working on that pretty hard.
Yep.
It's from over near our neck of the woods. I guess any pieces that were changed, I guess from what you intended originally or imagined originally for the bill after
I think the conversations we were having with the experts was make it slow and calculated. We want to make sure that anything that we do in the end, provides reliability and sustainability for Iowa ratepayers, and that we don't have a huge impact on the backs of ratepayers. So we're taking it incrementally, but as I said in the meeting, the most important thing is that we're moving the ball forward. I didn't want to do this study and then come back and do nothing with it. So, part of the bill has a study on performance-based rates. That was also mentioned heavily in LEI's information. And so we'll have the IUB take a look at that. And advanced rate making and a lot of the other things that we're talking about, like IRPs, all leads into performance-based rates. So it has to fall into like the puzzle pieces. So next year when we get that information back from Utilities Board, we will be able to kind of continue the conversation.
Sure.